They're all traitors, the lot of them, a gruff-toned voice bellowed out. Traitors, vagabonds and rebels. Never trusted 'em, never will. Keep 'em down, that's what I say. Put 'em right under your thumb. Squash 'em till they're as dead on the inside as dirty they are on the out. Servitude, that's what they need. A rod for their backs and a whip for their heels. That's what the likes of them understands. No, came a quieter, almost whispering voice. They're not that bad. You leave 'em be. What have they done that you hate 'em so? Done? Cried the gruff voice in reply. Done? I tell you what they've done. Rebels, the lot of 'em. Ruined my city, they have. That's what they've done. Just look at it. Mess, grime and filth. Who could live in such a place? The darkened room went quiet for a few moments, as if someone was pondering what had just been said, the silence only disturbed by the gasping sound of a person's uneasy breathing. The lattice at the window shook and rattled from a strong wind that howled outside, and for an instant it lifted, letting in a stream of dreary light. In those few moments of semi-illumination, a richly ornamented bedroom was revealed. Within its highly decorated walls were several armchairs, an open hearth fireplace, a large sink, a four-poster bed, and a golden tick-tocking clock which sat on the mantelpiece above the hearth. Then, just as quickly as it came, the light faded and darkness returned. You don't know 'em like I do, said the gruff voice again. Trickery, that's the word. Tricksters and fraudsters, always scheming, always up to something they are, never happy with their lot. What have they got to be happy about? Came the softer, whispering voice again. It's all your fault. You got 'em into this scrape. You get 'em out again. Who do they think I am? Said the gruff voice again. Some kind of happiness puppet to keep them entertained, no doubt. Stroppy and thankless, that's what best describes 'em. Again, it went quiet. You're lonely, said the soft voice eventually. Not quite what you thought it would be, is it? Being number one. Shut up, snapped the reply. I know where your loyalties lie. Always been with them, you have. Right from the beginning. It's their side that you're on. Traitor! Don't call me that, said the soft voice. And why not? Should have had you flush years ago. Again, silence fell in the room. The gruff voice picked up the conversation. So, whose side are you on then? About time you made up your mind it is. Lost your sense of fun, you have. That's what your problem is. Don't have the stomach for proper entertainment, do you? Proper fun requires guts. Don't want anything to do with it, came the soft voice again abruptly. You can't handle it. No, I just don't find it funny anymore. You mean you've lost your backbone, you spineless wimp? No, that's not true, replied the soft voice. Round and round and round we go, said the gruff voice. Stop it, came the soft voice, quite upset. Just stop it. Ha! hollered the gruff voice. Told you you've lost it. Outside the wind ceased its howling, and the light rain that fell ended as the storm clouds broke. Bright sunshine returned, and within minutes the room received a gentle yellow luminosity. On the bed was the contorted body of a young man. He was sweating so profusely that the sheets on which he rested were beyond damp. Thrashing his head from side to side, his face grimaced and twisted as his tormented thoughts continued to rush through his mind. Where has my waterworks gone? He suddenly demanded in the same gruff voice. It's gone! It's gone! He thrashed about some more, and then the same young man spoke again, but this time with a softer and gentler voice. It's not your waterworks, he said. Never was. Yes, it is, he bellowed back at himself. It's mine, given to me before the dawn of time it was. Now you're just being silly, he said to himself gently. No, I'm not, he shouted. The man began to writhe from side to side on the bed, Shuddering and trembling, his limbs jerked spasmodically and uncontrollably. Gripping his fingers into the mattress and bedsheets in an attempt to steady himself, he began to cough as if being throttled, whilst his chest wheezed with each inhalation as he struggled to breathe. Gulping, swallowing and choking, he lay in this fitful state for about half a minute until he eventually cleared his throat and took in several deep gasps of air. Then his body calmed and he sank back into the mattress to become quiet and still. "He is coming, you know," he eventually said in the gruff voice. "I know," replied the soft voice from within him rather timidly. "In the fullness of Not far away now he is," interrupted the gruff voice again. "The ruin of us all will he be." You've got to stop him," said the second soft voice through the man. I can't do it. Haven't got the courage like you." "Stop everyone, I will," said the gruff voice. There was a short time of quiet in the room, until the gruff voice spoke again. "I've got a surprise, you know." A broad smile came across the young man's face. Then he laughed to himself and added, "Do you want to know my secret?" The man was about to reply to himself when, ding, the clock on the mantelpiece chimed out. Ding, ding, ding. 4 o'clock in the afternoon. At this, the man sat bolt upright. "Oh my," he said, wiping his hand across his face. He looked at the measure of sweat on his palm and then pulled at his shirt, sodden with perspiration. Gathering himself for a few moments, he swung his legs over the side of the bed and staggered to the sink. Filling it with water, he splashed his face and then stared into the mirror opposite. The harassed reflection gawped back at him and, for a brief moment, he found his head in his hands, where he sobbed until he realised what he was doing. Pulling the sink's plug and wiping his head with a towel, he walked over to the window. Up went the lattice, and down he looked onto the streets of Clearwash City. All of the doors to every house and home were open, and the people poured onto the lanes, boulevards and avenues. Pushing here and there, they called, shouted and yelled, creating a deafening noise. The same streets a few moments earlier had been quite empty, like a ghost town, and now it was a mass of bustling figures, all jostling with each other like cut-price sale shoppers on the rampage. Ignoring this, the young man cast his gaze over the dirty capital, and then finally set his attention on a large market square below him. It was empty of the mob, but, here and there, uniformed guards were busy setting up what looked like large elevated bathtubs and filling them with some kind of liquid. "Come on, Erepsin," the man said to himself. "Get it together." He glanced over at the bed, but immediately refused the idea of returning them enough without bringing them into the day. "Time for a quick bath," he thought to himself. He shook his head. Time to get ready. He opened a nearby door and stepped into a walk-in wardrobe. A few minutes later he reappeared sporting an expensive suit and smelling of a limited edition exclusive aftershave. Glancing at himself in the mirror, he smiled at his handsome features. The transformation was complete. Now he looked upbeat, buoyant, and full of himself. Gone was the tortured man. In its place, pride, self-ego, and puffed-up arrogance. A mantle purposefully worn, and a facade put on with great skill and experience. Putting a comb through his freshly gelled hair, he quickly improved his appearance, and then boldly walked out the room. "Ivan!" he shouted as he walked down the corridor. "Ivan! Get my boat ready!"